We are back. The second half of the MLB season starts now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven. Welcome back. The All-Star break is over, and we are back to the grind of the MLB season. That's right. And we're about to approach the best time of the year. I've always thought that since I was younger. We got the second half of the MLB season with the playoffs. We got the NBA training camp in 2.5 months. And in 7 weeks, we have the Ravens versus Chiefs to start the NFL season. We got a lot going on. I'm excited for these next few months. But quick reminder, if you didn't see it already, we have an MLB mid-season video where we give out 5 best future bets for the second half of the year. We talk World Series predictions, NL and AL playoff race, put a lot of work into it, and hopefully we can get some winners like we did last year when we did that mid-season video. But go check that out now. Real quick before we get into it, and we got a little double feature to start. You'll see here in a second, but remember Outlier, it is an incredible website, guys. We're going to be showing you graphics in this video to show you what we've been looking at. It's really helped me lately, and there's no better time than now to get that. We can get a 7-day free trial for you. Just click that link below in the description, but more on all that stuff later. So we got a 14-game slate, and when I say a double feature, I mean today, because we're just coming back, I got a baseball fun fact and a dad joke for you. It's been way too long. We did it every single day in the NBA season. I'm just going to bring it back today. So here we go. Let's start with the baseball fun fact. Joel Youngblood got a hit for 2 different teams on the same day, August 4th, 1982. He got a hit as a Met, then got traded to the Expos, who were playing in Philadelphia that day, and got a hit for them too. That is insane. I don't think you'd ever see that now because they wouldn't play right away after traveling. There's too many, I don't know, contract semantics going on. But anyways, that's the fun fact. That's pretty good. Dad joke. Here we go. I like this one. I recently took a poll and found that 100% of the people in the tent were angry when it collapsed. That's pretty good. That's from my wife. I like that one. Anyways, in this video, we're going to recap the 2 days from way before the break real quick. Then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire pitcher report, and then, of course, finish it off with our best bets, hitter parlay ideas, and that recap. Hit that like button like you guys have been doing all season long, and leave a comment below just to help that algorithm, help this channel grow. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 27,000 subscribers. And I think we're about a month away from 2 years on the channel. It's been one hell of a ride, so we appreciate all the support. But let's get into it, and it starts with the recap. All right, nobody remembers this far back, but after 9 straight winning days, we had a brutal 0-5 on Friday before the break. But again, I did 4 half-unit plays, and thank goodness I did. And there's a reason I do that around the All-Star break. You'll see more of that today. It was just a bad hitters day. And usually when I have bad hitters day, it goes ugly. Trey Turner, Austin Riley, Gunnar Henderson all just absolutely sucked. But then we bounced back on Saturday with a 2-1 day to make it 10 of the last 11 winning days. Hit Devers and Flexen, but we lost Andrew Abbott, who just absolutely stunk up the joint. Gave up over 2.5 earned runs. But anyways, lost a few units after we've been rolling. So there's the overall record. We got to get better. This second half has got to be better. I'm determined to do it. But I will say be cautious with your bets right after the All-Star break. These guys are coming back after a break, so it's kind of hard to determine what everyone's going to do. But anyways, that is the bets recap from a week ago. And now let's talk the good and bad hitter matchups. All right, we got a lot of these for you today, and it starts with Yandy Diaz up there, 14 for 44 against Garrett Cole with 2 home runs. Freddie Freeman, 12 for 33. We got 3 guys with over 30 at-bats, including Juan Soto. How about 14 for 31 against Zach Eflin? 2 home runs, and I had to throw it in because it was crazy, but he has 10 ribbies also. There's a ton here. I'm not going to go through each one, but over there on the right on the top, Yordan Alvarez, 6 for 12 with a couple home runs against Luis Castillo. And then my boy Julio Rodriguez finally starting to catch fire, 4 for 10 versus Hunter Brown. More on that game later, but Shohei Ohtani, he dominates everybody. 4 for 9 against Pavetta. And then Ellie De La Cruz versus Corbin, you can see right below that at 5 for 8. So that is the first page. We're not done. Let's go to page 2 now. And we have 6 more for you, including Corey Seager, 4 for 7. Bobby Witt, 3 for 6. And I think I just saw Bobby Witt's hit, 1+ hit on FanDuel at -600 or something. It's absolutely insane. Anyways, but those are all the good hitter matchups. So take a screenshot. Hopefully it helps you get some winners. And now let's check out the bad hitter matchups. So we got quite a bit for you today. The home run derby champion has an appearance. Teoscar Hernandez, 3 for 24 with 7 Ks versus Pavetta. You can see Santander there as well. As you go down the list, Brian Reynolds, who's been solid this year, 2 for 15 with 7 Ks versus Nola. And here's the surprise. Look at the bottom two on the left. Aaron Judge, 2 for 15 with 9 Ks versus Eflin. Soto has dominated him. Judge has absolutely struggled, striking out 9 times in 15 ABs. Bryce Harper, 1 for 13 with 4 Ks versus Martin Perez. That's just kind of weird to me. I don't know if I'd put anything into that. And then Lindor or Albies. There's some big time hitters here. And George Springer, 0 for 11 with 5 Ks versus Flaherty. So, anyways, those are all the hitter matchups we have for you. And now let's talk some arms. And we got 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you today. The first one, Sonny Gray. And in fact, both of these pitchers' last names are a color. I just realized that. Anyways, Sonny Gray at the Atlanta Braves. Braves 5th highest K percentage versus righties last 3 weeks, 26.1. You see Gray's numbers there. Similar home and away splits, so it's not going to see much there. 31% K rate at home, 29.4% on the road. He has exactly 6 Ks in 3 straight starts now. Chicago Cubs, the Nationals, and the Reds. He has not faced Atlanta yet this year. And then the second color, Hunter Brown at the Seattle Mariners. Mariners, you know. Come on, guys. You just know. The highest K percentage versus righties, 31.8%. An absolute embarrassment to the league. And Brown, 105 Ks and 98.1 innings. He faced the M's twice already this season. And he had 5 Ks in Houston and 9 Ks in Seattle. And then again, just like Sonny Gray, pretty similar home and away K rate numbers, but he does also have between 5 and 7 Ks in 7 of his last 8 starts. So that's pretty consistent there. Anyways, there's 2 other high strikeout pitchers you guys are going to ask about, so I'm going to mention it. As you can see down there on the bottom, I snuck it in. Garrett Cole versus the Rays. Cole is not missing as many bats as he has been lately, but he hasn't thrown that many innings, obviously, as well, 23.1. So we'll see when he starts finding his form. But Rays 10th highest K percentage. You could have used this one if you wanted to, but I just don't love Cole's form right now. And then Jack Flaherty, we know how good he is, 119 Ks in 95 innings, but Toronto about average in the K rate department versus righties. Doesn't mean you can't bet these guys, but just want to give you guys those numbers. So those are the pitcher strikeout matchups for Friday. And now let's check out the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 7 matchups, and let me tell you, this was a struggle today. There was pitchers being changed or not named all over the place, so we had to keep changing it. This is what it is right now, so be sure to check back before you make bets as to what pitcher is actually throwing, but I think we got it here. We got one day game, at least day game on the West Coast, Cubs versus the Arizona D-backs with Justin Steele on the mound. Then Aaron Nola's taking them out. We got some good pitchers, and then we got guys like Mr. Patrick Corbin with a 5.57 ERA. 10.8 hits per 9 innings. We all know about him. It is a struggle. And then Garrett Cole is pitching. You won't see a 5.4 ERA next to his name for very long, but that's where he has started. And Jack Flaherty, a trade candidate, I don't know, maybe, but he has been unbelievable. Even 3.03 expected ERA with a high K rate. The knuckleballer faces the Guardians for the first time, and so on and so on. So anyways, those are the first 7 matchups. If you're new, all the averages are on the bottom. We got hits per 9, walk percentage, whip, K, anything you need to hopefully start your betting day, or maybe you can just find some winners directly from this. So that is page 1. Now let's check out the final 7 matchups. All right, here it is, the final 7 matchups, and we got Sonny Gray versus Henry Rowengarter, Switzerland, Schwellenbacher. Anyways, Schwellenbach's actually been pretty good. 3.79 expected ERA. He's a rookie, so he's really improved since those first few starts. Corbin Burns, we know how good he is. But Sonny Gray, I will say, going back to that first one, he has been a little bit off his game lately, I'll just say. He's been struggling a little bit, but again, overall numbers look absolutely fantastic. Chris Flexen, he's just been a guy, to be honest with you. Michael Wacha is due for some negative regression, almost a 5 expected ERA with about an average K rate there. Kyle Harrison, so this one was Logan Webb until almost right up until we recorded. Then I saw a change everywhere to the lefty Kyle Harrison. We'll see. And then Cal Quantrill went from Kyle Freeland to this. So I think that's the matchup, but just be sure to check that out. That's in Coors Field. No pitcher for the Angels yet. And then we got Pavetta versus Gavin Stone, and they need Stone more than anything because Tyler Glasnow, like he does every single year, is back on the IL, and their pitching depth gets even more thin, like we talked about in that midseason video. And then I think it's Luis Castillo, but it's not named on every single app. But he's going to be hosting the Houston Astros and Hunter Brown right there. So, two pitchers with similar K numbers. Obviously, one lineup strikes out a lot more, but Hunter Brown has been pretty good. Like I said, we will talk about that more later. So, that is the entire pitcher report for you today. And now it's time for the big game breakdown. All right, before we get to this game, just a reminder, KALSHI. It is an incredible app, guys. Federally regulated in all 50 states. It's like stocks. You can buy, sell, except for it's all world events. It's a one-of-a-kind website. We've been having fun with it, doing live trades every single day. As you guys know, I am waiting right now on pins and needles for the Metacritic score of that NCAA college football video game. I have it at being 80 or higher, so cross your fingers for me. But anyways, there's so many world events and music and movies and anything you can trade on. And me and Ryan have been having a lot of fun with it. We got our wives into it. So anyways, if you want to click that link below in the description, first 500 people to sign up get a $20 bonus credit when you deposit your first $100. So be sure to go check out KALSHI. So here we go. The big game breakdown takes us out to my neck of the woods. We got the Seattle Mariners hosting the Houston Astros. Mariners on the money line minus 130, Astros money line plus 110 with a total of 7 runs. This is what you guys voted for in the poll on the community tab in YouTube as you wanted to hear today. So here we go. Spot nothing. I mean, everyone has a break. There's no advantage here, obviously. I will say this. The Astros road record since June 1st is 11-8. Mariners home record since June 1st is 11-7. Now the starting pitcher matchup, from what I think, is Hunter Brown versus Luis Castillo. So let's talk about Mr. Brown. I did some digging on him since June 1st. Hunter Brown has the 7th lowest ERA in the entire major leagues. He got off to a terrible start, and then he absolutely dominated after that. He has a 2.39 ERA since June 1st, a 3.47 xFIP. Due for a little negative regression, but he's still been pretty solid. 1.16 ERA in June, and he's only given up more than 3 earned runs in his start once since May 17th. That's right. That's how good he's been. And that one time was 2 starts ago when the Minnesota Twinkies absolutely demolished him for 7 earned runs. And the Twinkies are killing everyone right now, let's be honest. So, in the 2 starts versus the Mariners this season, May 28th at Seattle, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, and 9 strikeouts. And then May 5th, Cinco de Mayo in Houston, 4.1 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs. 2 solid outings there. And that second one on May 5th, it was when he was actually struggling a bit. Like I said, he's really turned it on since June 1st. Home and away splits now. At home, he has a 3.40 ERA, giving up a 2.11 average against, and he has a much higher walk rate at home at 10.3%. But he is going to be on the road where he has a 5.70 ERA and has a 3.07 average against. That's right. Hitters are hitting 3.07 off him on the road. Big difference, but I will say this. It is skewed by a couple really bad starts, including early season struggles. He gave up 9 earned runs to the at Kansas City, 5 earned runs at Texas, and then that one bad start versus the Twinkies. So, I mean, 3 starts have absolutely blown up his road ERA. So just want to make sure you guys took that into a consideration. But he has a little lower 7.6% walk rate on the road. Now, righty-lefty splits. Against righties this year, well, he struggled a little more, actually. 278 average against, but a lower slugging, 392 slugging against righties, and he has a lower 22.3% K rate. Now, versus lefties, a 238 average against, but a higher slugging. So lefties have been hitting for more power against him with a 416 slugging. Not a huge difference, but and then he has a higher 27.1% K rate. He's actually been better striking out lefties this season. So, anyways, he has given up 8 home runs to lefties and 6 home runs to righties this year. Now, Mr. Castillo. This guy I was hoping would be better, but since June 1st, if we're going to go with those same numbers like Hunter Brown, he has had the 43rd best ERA in the league, 3.91 with a 4 xFIP. So their xFIPs are actually pretty similar, though. But he has not been the same starting pitcher as in years past. All Mariners fans know that. He is not the ace of the staff anymore. We got other guys, which, by the way, our ace is probably Logan Gilbert, maybe, and he's not even pitching in this series. As of right now, I have no idea why. This is a huge series, but either way, that's a Mariner thing. His K rate has dipped. Last few years been around 27%, now down to 24%. In 2 of the last 3 seasons, he had a ground ball rate in the 50 to 60% range. He now has a 39.7% ground ball rate this year, giving up too many fly balls and home runs. He's in the 30th percentile now on ground ball rate. He faced the Astros once this season and did pretty well. 6 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs with 6 strikeouts on May 28th. In fact, it was him versus Hunter Brown, the exact same matchup. Final score, 4-2. Castillo had a 5.13 ERA in June, but he did finish the first half with a couple good starts in July before that break. Now, home away splits. At home, 2.98 ERA, 2.29 average against. if you look at historical numbers this year, last year, 3 years ago, it doesn't matter. Road teams and the Mariners are both struggling to hit in T-Mobile Park. It is a very tough spot to hit. On the road, 4.11 ERA, 241 average against. I don't know if I mentioned it, but at home, he has a higher K percentage as well, 27.5% K rate, and only walking 4.6% of batters as well on the road, or at home. Sorry. On the road, though, 4.11 ERA, 241 average against, and he has a much lower 20.9% K rate and a 9.6% walk rate. So, I mean, T-Mobile, we know, number one pitcher's park, but at home, which is all you care about in this one, higher K rate, lower walk rate. Righty lefty splits against lefties. He has been struggling. This is the story of Luis Castillo right now. He has given up a 281 average and almost a 500 slugging versus lefties. At home versus lefties, how about a 330 average against and 524 slugging? It's just not been pretty. Much lower K rate versus lefties as well, 17.9. All the numbers and the eyeball test says he cannot get lefties out as much. Versus righties, how about a 195 average for right-handed hitters against him with only a 322 slugging and a much higher K rate. Versus righties, he's striking out about 30% of batters at 29.8%. So that's some huge righty-lefty splits there. Offense, Astros last 30 days versus righties, 9th best WRC plus, 5th highest batting average, 13th best slugging, 4th lowest K rate. We know they are a top 10 offense in this league. Mariners last 30 days versus righties. We know they are a bottom 10 offense in this league also. 25th best WRC plus, 29th in slugging. There's only 30 teams. Just want to point that out. Highest K rate also. That's also not good. Dead last in batting average. How about a 204 batting average against righties? The next closest is 219 with the White Sox. We're literally almost under the Mendoza line at 200 against righties in the last 30 days. I just don't know what to say about my team. Bullpen, since June 1st, Astros 13th with a 3.84 ERA, Mariners 10th with a 3.56. Similar advanced numbers as well. Everyone's available, obviously. Now, we got into the end of it. You want to hear a best bet? I don't have one. I'm not going to force one, but I have some leans that I want to talk through real quick with you. Astros money line is my lean. Plus 110. You guys already know how I feel about this division. If you watched the midseason video, go check that out. Better starting pitcher, better lineup. I think the Astros should be the slight favorite. I'm not sure why I'm getting plus money. I know the Mariners are better at home, but this just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Hunter Brown's form a little bit lately has worried me just slightly, but again, plus money for a better lineup and better everything with the Astros. I like it. I also don't mind the under 7. Maybe it goes to 7.5. It was close on one book. But like I said, these two pitchers faced each other already. It was a 4-2 game. I think the hitters are going to take a bit to warm up. After the All-Star break and things like that, it's the hardest place to hit in the majors, if I can talk. And two decent bullpens, two above average bullpens. So I don't mind the under 7. I also like the Astros money line. You can also do Astros first 5 money line. I think I saw it at plus 100 or minus 105 as well. So those are just a couple leans and all the info you need for the big game breakdown. And now it is officially time for bet number 1. All right, this first best bet is a hitter parlay. Give me Yordan Alvarez and Ellie De La Cruz at 1+ hit at minus 115 on FanDuel. Again, all my bets today are going to be half unit. It's after the All-Star break. I am not going to get crushed by players just coming back from the beach or wherever they were and just getting off to a slow start. So anyways, I'm going to go half unit. But Yordan Alvarez, we just talked about this in that big game breakdown. So this is kind of from that. Somewhat of a big game breakdown bet, but Luis Castillo has just struggled mightily versus lefties. I just said it, 330 average at home versus lefties, and Yordan is just a Mariner killer. I still have nightmares about him hitting that walk-off bomb in the playoffs off of Robbie Ray coming out of the bullpen. I can't sleep sometimes when I think about it. But anyways, he also happens to be crushing it on the road. He is hitting 349 on the road. We've talked enough about why this is a good matchup versus lefties, and Yordan is just an absolute stud. As you can see for the screenshot on Outlier right here on the screen, he has 1+ hit in 70% of his road games, 2+ hits in almost 50% in 19 of 44. Also, we already mentioned 6 for 12 with 2 bombs off Castillo. That's not too bad either. The odds just seem way too low in this matchup. Lefties are his weakness, and this is one of the best lefties in the entire major league. So Yordan is the leg number 1. Second one, Ellie De La Cruz. This guy is fun to listen to as well. But you saw the matchup earlier. He's 5 for 8 off of Patrick BP Corbin. He has 1+ hit in 8 of 10 games heading into the break. He is 9 for his last 24. We know this guy can get hot. He does hit righties a bit better. I don't think that matters a lot to me when the lefty is Patrick Corbin. He's already shown he can absolutely crush him. Corbin's almost giving up 11 hits per 9 innings. I just want to laugh when I think about it. And then he gets the bad Nats bullpen as well, who I believe just traded one of their pieces away to the Royals recently as well. So, road team, Reds are guaranteed, 9 guaranteed at bats. I just said guaranteed twice. I don't know why. But that might get him an extra at bat. We'll see. But either way, great matchup here. Give me Ellie De La Cruz 1+ hit along with Yordan Alvarez 1+ hit at -115 on FanDuel as my first best bet. All right, this second one takes us out to Miami, Florida, where the Marlins host the New York Mets. Mets on the money line -130, Marlins on the money line +110 with an over/under of 8.5 runs. My best bet in this game, I don't know what this line is doing. Give me the Mets on the money line at -130 for a half unit. The Mets are -130 favorites versus one of the worst teams in the league. So you would think, well, maybe the Marlins have a huge starting pitcher advantage. That's not the case. Let's talk about Mr. Edward Cabrera. He has been, I'm not going to make fun of him actually, because when I make fun of a pitcher quite a bit, they usually throw a gem. So I'm just going to talk about him. He has made 7 starts. He has over an 8 ERA. He has given up 4 or more earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts. It's just been terrible. His command is all over the place. He has 2+ walks in 4 of his last 6 starts. And by the way, all these numbers I'm giving you, he's not even throwing a lot of innings. In his last 3 starts, 3.1 innings, 3.2, and 2 innings. So it's not like all these numbers are piling up because he's throwing 6, 7 innings. He's giving up all these numbers and these walks and these hits and runs in a very short amount of time. So he has been struggling. Sean Manaea, whatever it is, the lefty. He can be a bit hard to trust sometimes, but he is still way better than Cabrera. And actually, he has been dynamite on the road. Just absolute dynamite. A 2.88 ERA on the road this season. And actually, overall, he's got a 3.46 ERA. So he's been limiting runs. He has now allowed 3 or less earned runs in 6 straight starts. He has really improved lately. He faced Miami earlier this season through 5 innings and gave up 2 earned runs. Now, the offense is in this one. Marlins versus lefties last 30 days. You guys can predict it. How about 26 WRC plus? 4th highest K rate. 5th worst slugging. They are terrible. The Mets offense versus righties in the last 30 days, the complete opposite. 3rd best WRC plus. 3rd best slugging. 8th lowest K rate. 4th highest walk rate, which could be huge against Cabrera because he can walk some guys. I mean, I don't understand this line. Maybe I'm missing something, but they have the better lineup, the better starting pitcher, and the better bullpen. When I say better lineup, that's kind of an understatement. They have a much better lineup. Give me the Mets. I know some books already had a -140. I think this line should be -160, to be honest with you. I would gladly take, as long as they did not go to the beach and just come back sluggish. I think the Mets take care of business here. If you want to take some plus money, maybe -1.5. But give me Mets on the money line for a half unit as my second best bet. All right, this third one is a player prop parlay. Give me Justin Steele, the lefty, over 4.5 Ks, and Chris Flexen, no, to record a win at +113 on DraftKings. Again, another half unit play. So first, let's talk about Steele over 4.5 Ks. It's a low number, and let's go check out some of those numbers on Outlier now. And so there's the 2024 numbers. As you can see, he's under this 79% of games, 11 of 14 starts. And to be honest with you, 2 of those 3 were at the beginning when he was still on a pitch count. That's how crazy it's been. Now, we can go up there and go to the last 10, and we can see that he is under this, or he's over this in 9 of his last 10. I mean, just a crazy hit rate here. And the only one he missed was his last start. And do you know why he missed? He got pulled after 7 innings and 70 pitches. I mean, that is absolutely insane. He dominated the Orioles. He could have easily got there. He should have pitched the complete game. But either way, and then you can see over there on the right, which is what I love about Outlier here. You can see the D-backs hitters against lefties first. If you go there versus Steele, you can see some of these numbers. It's not a high sample size, but Christian Walker, 3 Ks and 9 at-bats. Perdomo, 2 Ks and 5 at-bats. Suarez, 2 Ks and 5 at-bats. And then you can go over to the lefties, right next to that as well. And then you can see some of those guys have some high K rates as well, including the ex-Mariner, Eugenio Suarez. That's right, 33% K rate versus lefties. Christian Walker, 28.5. Thomas, 25%. Guys, there is some options. Now, we think Arizona's not a high K team, and they're not. And that's why this number is low. But they're also not a super elite K team also. If you can go, as you can see right there, Arizona batting versus lefties. This is the last 30 days. They're 18th in K percentage. So it's not like this is some ridiculously hard matchup for them. They have a 23.5% K rate versus lefties, as you see right there in the last 30 days. So I just think there are enough options for him to get the Ks here. Outlier gave me all those numbers, so be sure to go click that link below. Great website for all this research help, but just a ton of help. And what I like about this one also, his outs recorded line on DraftKings is minus 210 for the over 17 and a half outs recorded. So that means they're thinking it should be an easy 6 innings for him. If he pitches 6 or more innings, he could go 7 innings like he did yet last game, which he could have gone 9, honestly. I think that's going to give plenty of chances for him to go over this 4.5 line for the 10th time in his last 11 starts. Now, the second one, this is a juice reducer. That's right. Chris Flexen of the White Sox, he has made 18 starts and he has 2 wins. And I am betting no wins. So you go to DraftKings, you go to pitcher wins, and you say no to record a win. He has 2 wins in 18 starts this year. He is facing the Royals in Kansas City, where we know they are a better offense in Kansas City. Facing Michael Waka Waka, who's been solid. He's the better pitcher in this matchup. The bullpen behind Chris Flexen is awful. Even if he happens to lead with the 1-run lead or 2-run lead, the bullpen could easily blow it. We know that. We've seen it all season long with them. A lot would have to go right for him to get his 3rd win of the season. So I love Chris Flexen. No to get a win. I also like Cabrera if you need another juice reducer. But I already have some skin in the game on that Mets Marlins one. So give me Justin Steele over 4.5 Ks and Chris Flexen no to record a win at plus 113 on DraftKings for a half unit as my 3rd and final bet on the video. And now let's check out the hitter parlay ideas. All right, let's talk some hitters now. And these are just some options for you. I'm not going to give you just all of the obvious ones. This first one, Brent Rooker of the Oakland A's. How about that? He is hitting 471 in the last 15 days. That is the #1 batting average in all of baseball. He is maybe facing Griffin Canning. I don't know exactly. It hasn't been listed. If it is Canning, he's 3% off him. Any other starting pitcher for the Angels does not worry me. So I like Brent Rooker. Colt Keith, how about the rookie for the Detroit Tigers, hitting 395 in the last 15 days? Facing Chris Bassett Hound. Bassett's struggling more versus lefties, giving up almost a 280 average to them. He's giving up 9.1 hits per 9 innings. This rookie's hitting better on the road as well, a little bit at 263. So just kind of riding the hot bat. Just some options for you that aren't just those juice minus 300s or anything like that. The third one, Ian Happ in that Cubs game, hitting 359 the last 15 days. He is facing one of the most hittable starting pitchers in all of baseball in Ryan Nelson, who's giving up almost 11 hits per 9 innings. He has 1+ hit, Mr. Ian Happ, in 9 of his last 12 games. He's only hitting 243 on the season. Again, these are some lower odds, but he is absolutely crushing it at home. If you just take it with how he hits at Wrigley Field, he is hitting 313 at home compared to under 200 on the road. That's absolutely insane. So Ian Happ is a decent one. I would never tail Ian Happ on the road, that's for sure. The fourth one, my boy, Julio Rodriguez. 4 for 10 off Brown like we talked about. 13 for his last 22 heading to the break. He started out slow again this year. He is starting to heat up. Hopefully that's a sign of good things. After the All-Star break, you never know. But I've seen it before. He's hitting bunches when he gets hot. So I like the matchup. I like him to stay hot here. And then how about just Reds and Phillies hitters? Let's just say that because they're facing Patrick Corbin and Martin Perez, both giving up over 11 hits per 9 innings. Some of those Phillies hitters, you've seen Schwarber, Harper, even though they're lefties, they hit lefties extremely well. Alec Boehm has some good history versus Martin Perez as well. And then Patrick Corbin, I mean, the Reds could crush him. We'll see. But I just want to put Reds and Phillies because it's just like picking one of them is just impossible. So those are my hitter parlay ideas, my 3 best bets. All the research help you need for Friday. Again, all our half unit plays, any added plays will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Now let's check out the recap. There it is. We start out with Yordan Alvarez and Ellie De La Cruz, 1+ hit each at minus 115, and then give me the Mets money line at minus 130 on DraftKings to take care of the Marlins. And we ended with that player prop parlay. Justin Steele over 4.5 Ks and Chris Flexen no win at plus 113 on DraftKings. I added that Flexen one because it was like minus 145, minus 150 for Steele. I thought about it, but I wanted to reduce it. That was just too high for me. So those are my 3 best bets for now for Friday, July 19th. Thank you guys for watching. Let's have a great second half of the year. I'm fired up for some baseball and also fired up because I am diving in deep to that NFL season right around the corner. So hope everyone has a great Friday, a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.